bringing you the news 24 hours a day, 7 days per week, with a fresh approach. www.999wefm.com. WeFM News, online, on demand.
Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
At Quartz Optical, two are better than one. Be ready for any occasion with not one, but two pairs of complete eyewear. Choose from our wide range of fashionable brands. Buy one and get a second pair free. That's two pairs with no cash and pay later. Book your free eye exam today online at quartzoptical.com. Two are better than one. Buy one, get one free. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
Welcome back to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Coast Guard Service, in partnership with the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Sagicor Life Incorporated, Wind and Sea Tours Limited, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines Port Authority will launch its annual Youth Development Summer Program on Monday, July 17th, 2023. According to an official release, the program will be commemorating its 30th anniversary this year. The program caters to participants aged 14 to 18 and will be conducted under the theme 30 Years of Shaping Our Youths for Life's High Seas. Since the program's commencement in 1993, approximately 3,700 individuals have participated in it. The SVG Coast Guard Service, in their release, advised the general public that applications for this year's Youth Development Summer Program will be available beginning Monday, June 12, 2023. The release notes that forms can be picked up Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. by parents or guardians of children wishing to attend this year's program at the Coast Guard base in Caliaco. Officers attached to the Layu police station have launched an investigation into a report of a robbery that occurred at Pembroke at about 8:30 p.m. on June 2nd, 2023. Reports are that a 43-year-old citizen of the Dominican Republic and Pembroke was robbed of 20,000 EC dollars and US $300 in cash by three unknown men. Police are appealing to members of the public with information that can aid with this investigation to contact the officer in charge of the Southwestern Division at 1-784-458-7349 or the Criminal Investigations Department Major Crimes Unit at 1-784-456-1810 or 1-784-457-1211 extension 4837. All calls will be treated confidentially. Still on the local scene, Vincentians of Indian descent are now able to trace their genealogy back to India during the annual Indian Arrival Day commemoration on Sunday, June 4th. President of the Indian Heritage Foundation, Junior Bacchus, said their website now includes a section for tracing family lineage. We hear more from Mr. Bacchus.
I've been working for the last 2 years, building that genealogy link to our website, and we are inviting all of us to go to that site and put whatever information you know about your family in the relative section within the site, and you will be able to find a lot of your family members who have passed on, and you could be able to trace right back into India where you came from.
That was President of the Indian Heritage Foundation, Junior Bacchus. Mr. Bacchus added that this year the foundation will be focusing on building greater peace and harmony among people of Indian descent. On to news in the region. Guyana was elected to serve as non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. Guyana secured 191 votes from the 192 members present at the UN's General Assembly. The country's 2-year term as a representative for Latin America and the Caribbean begins on January 1st, 2024. Guyana previously served on the UN Security Council from 1975 to 1976 and 1982 to 1983. The UN Security Council is made up of China, France, Russia, the United Kingdom, and the United States, and 10 non-permanent members from Africa, Asia Pacific, Latin American and Caribbean, Eastern Europe, and Western Europe. Also joining Guyana on the UN Security Council in 2024 are Algeria, the Republic of Korea, Sierra Leone, and Slovenia, who defeated Belarus for the seat. Guyanese President for Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali said Guyana is humbled by the opportunity to serve the region on the important body. The number of crimes being committed with illegal firearms in St. Kitts and Nevis has become worrisome, with the country's Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew announcing that the island's security forces will be taking further steps to tackle the upsurge in gun violence. In a national address, the Prime Minister said the security forces will implement the following: increased security presence in communities through various methods, further engagement of regional and international security experts to work along with St. Kitts and Nevis's forces, strengthening of the intelligence capabilities of the security forces, expansion of the CCTV infrastructure island-wide, and enhancement of evidence-gathering capabilities to ensure that perpetrators are brought to justice. He also announced that St. Kitts and Nevis's cabinet has agreed to table legislation in the National Assembly to increase the penalty for illegal firearms offenses from 15 years to 25 years in prison. On the international scene, South Korea's defense ministry has lodged a stern protest with Beijing and Moscow, local media reported, after Chinese and Russian military planes entered the country's air defense identification zone unannounced during what China's defense ministry said was a joint patrol exercise. South Korean fighter jets were scrambled on Tuesday in response to the presence of 4 Chinese and 4 Russian military aircraft, which did not violate the country's airspace but did enter South Korea's air defense identification zone. Unlike a country's airspace, the air above its territory and territorial waters, there are no international rules governing air defense zones. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said aircraft were expected to identify their presence when they enter the air defense zone so as to prevent accidental clashes, South Korea's Yonhap news agency reported on Tuesday. And finally, in sports, tennis top seed Carlos Alcaraz will face Novak Djokovic in the French Open semifinals after crushing Stefanos Tsitsipas to set up the highly anticipated clash. Spain's Alcaraz, 20, won against the Greek 5th seed. Serbia's Djokovic survived a quarterfinal scare from Karen Khachanov to keep his bid for a record 23rd men's Grand Slam singles title alive. Djokovic, 36, was in danger of falling 2 sets behind against the Russian but prevailed. The 3rd seed could become the first man to win all 4 majors at least 3 times. But if he's going to do that, he must come through his toughest test yet when he meets US Open champion Alcaraz in the last 4 on Friday. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Quartz St. Vincent Limited.
We got stoves, cook it, fry it, bake it, stew it, poach it, eat it, drink it, slurp it. At Quartz, you can get it. We got fridges, slurp it, chill it, freeze it, store it, crisp it, pack it, and stack it. At Quartz, you can get it. Wash or dryer it, wash it, fluff it, spin it, dry it, clean it, fold it, wear it, assort it, and soak it. Rinse it, load it. SDA gon' make you blend it, crush it, toast it. At Quartz, you can get it.
It's the appliance event happening now, only